could have started it over, but I was starting my car. Hey, get that dog out of here. Oh, that's my car, the dog. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I better open the hood. Oh, I scratched myself. Fucking cats hanging out in the motor. Oh, them cats. Got to be a caterpillar for sure. Did you know that a cat can be the pet cat? What's up, folks? Hey! A cat or caterpillar for the tractors. Now, I'm not going to rhyme over there, and I wasn't ready to do a video, okay? I'm all mixed up in my head, so I'm just taking one piece at a time. If you go over and use Celsius, regardless of which number you put in, you will always come out with a formation in Fahrenheit of two numbers or one of 5, 14, and 23. 5, 14, and 23 are three different levels inside the birth of creation. The other thing I was going to tell you about Celsius and Fahrenheit is just listen to the words, okay? Sell. Celsius. 1 Celsius. Sell. To sell or to buy. To sell or to see us. If you don't see us, you can't buy. But can we buy by our hands? And you see our hands. So once you see our hands, you've seen enough. Lift your hand in the sky. Lift your hand in your glass. Buy and sell. Fahrenheit. Farin. Well, I guess that's in the stock market. Has to do with flour. But the height of it all is the heat of it all. But if you sell seedless, that's Celsius. Leave them alone. We're not going to sell less seeds than we have to. We got to keep the price up. We'll open up a stock market. So we can keep all the prices up to the price we need to always make money. And, well, we'll fluctuate the market a little bit to pretend like it's actually there. The height of Fahrenheit, the low of Celsius, the cell. When you go down into the cell, you're going down low. When you go up into the height or the heat, you're closer to the top of the oven. Whether you're top of the oven or top of the sky, whether you're on the sun or not. Do you want to know about left and right? This book is center. This book is to my left. This book is to my right. But when the left goes away, the book turns sideways. And then it moves over, and it becomes me under my teepee. When you split the brain, take away the left side of the brain, you have the right side of the brain. Now you're off balance, you're thinking. So what you do now is you take your right side of the brain and you shove it in the center, even onto the side where the left brain was. Then you go from the sky and you put a pull right down here. And it's the pull that connects the entire brain to your heart. I know it's far-fetched, but the dogs were fetching in rovers on Mars, you know, just things like that. Another thing I was noticing is the word to notice, or icing on a cake, and it weighs a ton, N-O-T. It could be a knot, it could be tied up. Where is it tied up? Is it an iceberg that's tied up and it's in the North Pole? Then the word says to sing. Sing. Sing a song. So now I'm going to have to sing a song. Which one? Who wrote it? Who sang it? What was the day it came out? What day is it today? What's the difference in the in-between? We only want the in-between. We don't want it to touch any of the ends. I don't want to touch go, or I don't want to touch 1, and I don't want to touch number 19, New York and the Med. I really don't want to touch 2, because 2 has no spirit. But if I touch 3, I'm guaranteed, regardless of the other dice, I still have spirit to come into this world, and I end up on the Baltic. So when you sing that note, that song is going to turn something in your mind, and it's going to say, now I see it, because of the note. Don't forget, when it's a Fahrenheit, it's like baking bread. So now you're baking challah. So now we have to look into the word challah. It's certain things that I know that I have to learn. I'm going to go up to the last page and show you something. Have you ever seen something like this sort of way it doesn't stop? Because it's a jack. They're jacks. Don't you know they're all jacks? And if you really don't extend it, forget about the line in the center, okay? Because you always have to show a center. It doesn't mean the line exists, but you have to show a center, okay? So therefore, right away by center, it will show a line. That's why it doesn't run all the way down, because it doesn't connect to here, the Spirit of Christ. It connects into the center. The center puts it out to everybody. If you connect it right at the top, it doesn't work. The only time it's connected at the top is between 1 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me start over here. Okay? You have to have a division for the two worlds that come down. It's two different worlds. There might be one plug that comes down as the same for both worlds, but some of them come down and have to be split. Man needs to come here. He needs a nose. You ain't getting a nose where the other angels are. They know everything, but we get the nose. The bigger the nose, the more we know. The air is free, and the air we breathe brings on our angel. F and L, L and F, L, L, F. Pretty cool, eh? Where are we going to go now? Let me see what I can get into my little pad over here and see what I marked up in the last couple of hours. There was really only one thing I wanted to say. But anyways, that was a J sign. That, the 10 Commandments that I just showed you, is like a J sign. And then you have a sign like this, where it's a bigger J. And if you look in the boxes here, it'll hold the dog pound all the way around. It actually goes to here, and the other one goes to here. They both have an extended arm on each side, making that this tablet and this tablet will be in the center of the two tails at each end. We always need a tail on each end, just like Kentucky and New York. That is the tail, because it tails onto before and after it ends up in free parking, and you don't want to be in free parking, because there's nothing much you can get there. You only can sit your ass down, but there's nothing you can get out of free parking. Except 20 more to go, and that'll take 2 dice. I'm not going to get into that part, there's too much on it. What I was saying about that, okay, so now you have that sign I showed you in the center. It's a tombstone. Take away the T, it's a bomb stone. Because the T is the 20th letter. 2 plus 0 is 2. But T-O, the O is the 15th letter plus the T, okay? It actually says jet. Why? Because the 15th letter, 10 and 5, is J and E. The T is at the front of tomb, what we got it all from T and O, like overtime. It says jet, a jet bomb, or a jet that bombs. So now we have to bring up something over here, and I was thinking in my head, I really can't remember exactly what I was thinking, but if you give me a little bit of time to fool around on here to jog up my memory, I'll be able to come out with something. Oh yes, now I remember. You see, I went forward and back, so I remembered. I didn't get stuck, thank God. So when I get stuck, I got to end the video. 19 is New York. Twin Towers went down. 19 going the minus way is Kentucky. What has happened in Kentucky? The reason I talk of this is because of the numbers. You cannot start a Monopoly game on 2, 4, 6. If you double the 2 and double the 4 and double the 6, you still don't get any life. It's only when you double it and get a life, but then you need 3 dice, and then you need a player to roll the dice. So now we're in creation and action. Satisfaction of the action. Man is 4-2, or he's 4-3. Well, man is actually 2-6. 2 comes from 1 and 1. Why? Because the month of November, the 11th month, 1 and 1 is 2. November, December is 1 open month. January is 2 open months. You get 2 on the dice, you stay in between. If you were playing in backgammon, you'd move 1 and 1. For Monopoly, you got to move the 2 dice. You can't stop in between. You got separate players in backgammon. You're all divided up. What do you got? 15 players? You got 2 dice. You get 2 shots. You get doubles. You get 4, but you don't get to go again because you already went twice. Kentucky. What else is there in Monopoly? You see, Christ was 3 and 3. That's why we started on 3, went to 13. Or we started on go and we went to 7. 7 and 3 is 10. We just separated the 2 worlds. The one of creation that counts before what they show in the chakras, because that is not it. We come from after that. And in the chakras, the same thing. It's one before the end, because we come before the end, which is 3 and 3. So we take off 3 and 3. So from 42, we have 36. 42 is a representation of many things. So is man 4 and 2? Absolutely not. I told you, he needs 3. He's a 4, he's a 2, and he's a 1. He's a 1, 2, 4. Now the question comes like this. If man is 6, and he is 2 and 4, there's no spirit. What do? He's 3 and 3, and 4 and 4, making him 7. So all they do is 4 and 2 is 6 in the 7 world. All you do on the dice is add on 1. Now he's a 6 and 1, 7. He's got the 1 spirit. He ain't got much. He's got the 9 light. Comes out in the front. He wants to fuck him in the back. 7 days later, if you're a Jewish boy, they want to cut it all around. Show you what the universe has been like. They cut it out of paper. They cut my dick off when I was born. Didn't take them a long time before they got my dick. My dick was on a stick before anything else happened. They pumped it inside of some other tube. They showed me what it was like to start the life again. They take my dick, they shove it in a tube, they pull the skin over, they cut it off, and they let you go. Crying, of course. I don't remember a thing. Thank God the spirit didn't come into me at that age. Thank God it was just a regular soul on earth, crying like a little cat. She's like a little cat on the corner crying because no one wants to talk to her. Poor pussy. Jacob and Abraham, because God started as Abraham, but at 10, the letter J, he was at Jacob. Jacob and Abraham. Jupiter and Jacob. Abraham, abracadabra, creation angel. Dabra. Well, Dabrala is the Mars backwards in the way. I got the bra for the cabra of Abraham. I think a man is a ham. Man is a pig. Or how about the guy we know, his name is Hanan or Hamin. When Jesus was born, I think Amin was around. Or maybe it was back in the Jewish history. If I know a little bit about something, then I can go look for the story in the sky. It is in the sky, because when I get the story, I don't know I'm getting more than what I think. I think it's just natural like this to be able to do what I do. I am not too sure, but I am too sure. For 2 shirts are better than one on him and one on me. And if it's a woman, I don't want to see her breast because she'd screw up my life if the spirit was too good. So God replaced it with money, the purity of the honey, the golden bear, something to make an exchange, something to make sure we find change. To understand the difference is to understand we got put together in many pieces, mostly by 1s and 2s. The G for God and the H sound, H word does not say ha. And GH together says nothing at all, because the G is 7. It's the rest left over from when Christ came in under 33. 3 and 3, 7 and 7, 10, 10. 20 world. G is now silent because the G in this world has to be replaced by a whole J. We got add-ons. We're J's in this world. But we're Blue Jays because we're only electronic. And we can have the St. Louis Cardinals. SLC, Spirit Life of Creation, passing over the arches into St. Louis. Missouri, it could have been a little bit of misery, but we had none. At the beginning, we didn't know. We didn't know the difference. But now that the understanding inside the mind knows the difference between right and wrong, and wanting and not caring, makes all the difference indeed. It's what you know, and what you can vision between what you don't know. What you have to know, okay, is that you have to know what you don't know. It doesn't mean that you have to know it. There's nothing in it anyways right now. You just have to know, leave an open space for the possibilities of fiction. Things that are actually not true to you. So G and J, when you say 8, you don't hear the GH, but you hear the A and the T, because the A is for God, angel. He is the A. T, well, the cross, basically, is right here. Connecting these 2 worlds of 1 and 3, Earth and Mars, into the center world of 5, Jupiter, to bring in man's heart and his brain. There is no random. Left is right and is in between. There is no left. It was all right. When it was done, it was all right. Here's the mind. 1 side of the mind, 2 sides of the minds. But when that mind comes together, it's all right here in the front of your nose. It's a little bit of playing with words because I do not know the totality. I am trying to get in as much information as I could while it comes into me. So I fool around with that. So we're back on there's no random. Everything is in between. Everything is center, up, and right, just like the uprights. The uprights in football is because C and C is actually underneath each other. you know what I'm saying? 3 and 3 creation, C and C, it's 2 C's, 3 points and 3 points, you get 6 points, because once man wins in one world, you know what I'm saying? You have 2 men, one here and one here. We only have one world where we're living in. If you go from here all the way past here, you take his 3 points and your 3 points, because you're bringing him with you. The opposition plays. When you throw the dice, the opposition plays, you know. Whether you roll what you marked on the table, the opposition plays. So you score both 3 points. The 3 for you, and the 3 points your opponents don't get. You move up 6. They get a field goal. They get 3. But that was in the air, in the sky. That's where God is. 1 and 3 can be in the sky. But when you get a 2-point play, well, that's on the ground. There ain't no spirit in it unless you have the ball. And then you get the 2 points, and you're the carrier, and you made a score. Now you're going to kick it off again from the 35, because if you reversed it to 35 to 53, it's now 88. 2 ends begin to play. You're kicking the ball away, but you got it. Those are the rules. You got to follow the rules of life, follow the rules of football, and anything else that happens, and start connecting. Open up 100 different books, but write only one story. Raphael, 7286, has one more thing to say before I'm on my way, before I make my day. I have to look over here. Yes, the thing is like this. You see, what New York, okay, is one after, if I remember, Tennessee. What's happening in Tennessee right now? Because before Tennessee is the community chest. Now, I'm going to have to go look up my Monopoly now and see if it's still here. Okay. Yes, it's Tennessee. So that's where the music is. When you're noticing, you have to notice Tennessee. Tennessee Fields, WC Fields. Whatever comes to you, God is giving you this information. You got to keep throwing it around both ways. What's here? So Tennessee, okay, from go is number 18, but is the 19th spot. 18 and 19 is 37. Believe you me, that's Christ, because 36 on the roulette wheel, 36 space on Monopoly. This is the 37th space. Okay, 3 by 7 is 21. You're connecting the worlds. You have Tennessee next to New York. T, transmission. Passage, splitting the road with the Y, New York. Something from New York. So if it's something from New York, it could be in one of the buildings. And the action could be taken on by one of the men, because God ain't doing anything here. If it's happening here, it's happening where the arsenic is, because there's arsenic in apple juice, apparently. I'm not sure if the apple juice is pure, no vitamin C, no arsenic. Vitamin C, arsenic. The pumpkin that never got to school with Pinocchio, as he ended up being an ass. Snow White, who had the 7 little dwarfs, fell asleep. Prince Charming, P and C, creation of the one spirit of 6. The snow is pure and white because it happens only once, unless it's redone again. You don't think this is the white that we're supposed to have? There's a little extra work to get to white. Where am I at now? So now that you know New York is after Tennessee, okay, you know that the only way to get 2 free parking is to roll a 2 dice, 1 spirit and 1 spirit. You have rolled an 11, the spirit, angel, and man, and now you are full of life. You got a free space to do nothing until it's your turn. And if you roll a 10 to go to jail from there, that's pretty highly unlikely. But then again, what is likely is a 6 and 8. And that'll put you just about near waterworks. Monopoly is a coordinated game by the understanding of what each property actually means, and the number results from when the point of departure is. The first point of departure is go, you all know. You all get 1500, 15 omega, 2 eggs for you and him, your brain on this side and the angel on that side. Your angel went to sleep in heaven, just like in the Matrix. They plugged them in the back of the neck, and you awoken on the earth. And now you don't remember a thing. Another thing I want to say is if I can remember that pi is 3.14159265. So the word on, O-N, is 14 and 15 for the first 4 numbers after the point of pi, and 92, which is it. It's it or it's TI. It's IT because the I is 9 and the T is the 20th one is 2. Don't forget, if you have 5, 6, that means you can go from 5 to 6. Not. You can't roll one dice. You roll 5 to 6, you got to go all the way around. Now, if you have 4 to 3, okay, what that means is 4 is above, 3 is below. You go, okay, that means your third 3 on your dice will bring you to the destination of your knowledge, which you have to know. If you have on the dice 2, 4, 2, 4 is forward, 4, 2 is backwards. All the way around the board, you have to calculate it. So anyways, we have pi on it, 141592. Now, okay, the C for creation, okay, is the third letter. 3, third letter, it says CONNECT. CONNECT. CONT. A clue. ConAgra, Viagra, something to do with space. Because your hips are like a ship. And if you need Viagra to ConAgra to understand what ConAgra is all about, and then you revert to what Monsanto's is all about, and now you're talking about space, 14th, 15th letter, 9th letter, and the 20th letter or the second letter, we can put a B over here if I want. B-I-O-N, Bion. O-N-I-B. Let me write that down. I just got that. I forgot that we can write that as a 2. I forgot. But we can call it a K also, because it's the 11th letter, 1 and 1 is 2. We can call it a kit. The kit is on. So we make a whole word, but you can't go more than 1 to 2 and 1 to 2 on this side. Then you make from the center of 1. If you want to start from 4, you go to 1 into 1. If you want to start all the way to 6, 5, which are the next 2 letters, this one is the F, this one is the A. It says F on it. That means step on it, you fucker. Get with it. You got a clue? Everything is bacon in the kit. Next to none, 0.0. I fooled around with you there, but that's the way it works. Before and after. Clue or con or Hugo. Hugo or Hugh, H, heaven, you go on it. Go to earth. It's huge. If 6 was first, it would be 11. 11, 11. 29 equals 11. 2992 is 121. 121 and 65 is 186. 8 by 6 or 8 and 6 is 14 and 48 is 62. It's all the numbers. I can't even go any deeper. The numbers just say what they say. The other thing I got on was Indiana because of Diana. Okay. And anyways, the other thing was Kentucky is the same thing. Kentucky is next to free parking. So if you land on Kentucky or New York, you don't get anything. You automatically have to jump to the other direction because guess what? Yen, cul-de-sac, which means dead end. Cul-de-sac, dead end. It says a nail in the road. C is the third letter, L is the 12th letter, 2 and 1 is 3. This is the 21st letter, 2 and 1 is 3. 2 and 1, 1 and 3, 33 of Christ. With 3 here, we have 3, 3, 3. And that is the creation of the Christ, the 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days of the pig's pregnancy, and how the pig is connected to this world with its split hoof that the Jews can't eat, just an understanding of why it's there. And we could not extinct the pig. We had to remember it. So one day we bring it up in a conversation, just so we can go a little deeper in our head. Raphael, 7286. The constellation of Pegasus, and a mind of my own. Thank you, O Lord, for lending me space. It's now in free parking, and I understand. Thank you. Thank you. If that's what free parking is all about, it's beautiful. There's nothing there, so I put my head there. I can hear from one side. I can hear from the other side. If I went on go, well, everybody wants to go, you know, at the light. If I'm visiting jail, well, there's a certain amount of time. If I go to jail, well, you can't stay there. You have to go to jail. The policeman takes you away right away. And when you go to free parking, you're 10 away from visiting jail and going to jail. You have twice more of a chance not to get to any of the two. But if you should get to go to jail, then from jail you can just come around to free parking one more time. And there's always time for the mind. There's always space for a thought. for the goodness of a heart. Thank you. Be well, my friends. Thank you.